Today, we're going to learn about my approach to color correction even before we start grading. Color correction is that particular area of your color grading process that can either make or break your footage. If you are new here, all we do is learn and grow together, and we recently just hit 1,000 subscribers, and I'm really grateful for everyone that has come along on this journey. That said, let's jump right into the video. Let's go. So here's my project settings for those that are interested in knowing what we're working with. Firstly, what is color correction? Technically, color correction is the process of adjusting, fixing, or balancing your image to have a consistent result. All this is just telling you is you are trying to get your image to look similar to how it was shot in real life. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to convert this image from a log profile to a Rec 709. Already, I created a notary for this particular project. If you are interested in that, the link is in the description and it is totally free. So I head over to my PowerGrade and apply this grade. And this is what we have. This is a complete PowerGrade that you can use across different projects. It has native tools in DaVinci Resolve. So even if you don't have the studio version, this will work for you. But today we're going to be working specifically on color correction, which is on this compound node here. So when we go in here, you can see that we have some specific things, which is exposure, contrast, white balance, color balance, which is balance, HSV, skin, and density. Let's work with exposure first. So when working with exposure, you can work with your primary color wheels over here, your lift, gamma, and gain, which is your shadows, midtones, and highlights, and your offset, which is your general exposure. Or you can use your HDR. For this particular video, we'll be working with HDR and primary color wheels. So if I go to my HDR, I want to work on my global. I'm going to raise it up a bit. Now, the reason I'm using global for this is this works in a photometric way. This works similar to how you increase your f-stops on your camera. Then I'm going to go to my contrast. We can approach contrast on different levels. You can use your curves, or you could just use your contrast sliders here. But for this, we're going to use our curves and turn on editable splines. Then we're just going to do a very simple curve down here to drag the shadows down and also raise up our highlights a bit. But same time, we don't want things clipping up here. So I'm just going to bring this down a bit and also raise the blacks a bit so we don't have anything clipping on both ends. Then I'll bring this down. Also going to raise this up. The goal of color correction is to get your image to look somewhat as what it would have looked in real life before you even start stylizing your footage. So contrast, then white balance. When working with white balance, in earlier times, we usually used our temperature and tint, which is still fine, but to get more accurate results, we come over here to our gamma and change this to linear. Now, this has already been set on this PowerGrade. Now, when it's on linear, you come over to your gain. Then you can tweak your white balance using your gain. For this image, I would want to cool it down a bit, just slightly down here. So as you can see, I'm bringing this down towards the blues, somewhere there. And for now, I think I'm okay with what I have there. We're going to come to balance. What is color balance? We try to balance the color ratio in our image. Like looking at this and looking at our scopes, we are almost at the good point because we really don't have a lot of things that are conflicting. But in other images, you would see more conflicting color ratios. But for this, I would want to just bring down my grains on my offset a bit down here, just to add more magenta to the skin tones a bit. Just somewhere around there is totally fine. Now, HSV is for saturation. This has already been set up for you, but if you have to set this up yourself, you can come over here, go to your color space and turn on HSV and go to your channels and turn off channel 1 and channel 3. Now, HSV is basically saturation. You can easily just come to your gain and increase this to your desired taste. Now, in as much as you have a desired taste, there is still a professional guideline to this. To know when it's actually too much, you can easily go to your vertoscope. Now, go to your vertoscope, you can see these boxes around. Your colors should not actually exceed this box. Meaning, if I keep dragging this to a point that it has to exceed that box, then you are probably doing something wrong. You need to work on that. So that's just something you need to put in mind when you're working with saturation. But for now, we have a lot of space around there, so you can easily tweak this to your own liking or your own taste. But for me, somewhere around here is fine. Now, skin tones, which is very important, and we also work with this with our vertoscope. I'm going to go to my U versus U over here. I'm going to pick the skin. Now, a key way to get the right skin is just push this to the extreme to see what you're actually selecting. So if I do something like this, I'm going to see if I'm actually selecting all part of her skin or most parts. Now, if you see, there are still some patches here, which we can easily extend these edges a bit and also extend this other edge a bit. And we'll have a proper selection. Now, after doing that, then you can easily correct the skin. Now, looking at this, your skin tone should ideally fall within this line. So you're going to push this until it just falls on that line. So once it falls on that line, then you are good. So as you can see, skin tone has been fixed. Now let's work on density. Density is basically you just adding color depth to your image. And we also do this using HSV. This has already been set for you, but you can easily just come over here, go to color space, turn on HSV, channels, turn off channel 1 and channel 3, just like we did in HSV before. But the only difference is instead of working on the whole sliders down on your gain, you're going to work on just the grain slider. You're going to raise up the grain sliders until you have a good color depth that you like. For me, I'm going to put this around here. Now, as you can see, we have been able to get this image to something that we like. So this is before color correction and after. One thing you should also understand is that your color space transform is also part of your color correction. So if I'm to show you this is our before and after. So you see, we have gotten our image from something flat to something that looks really good. And the good part of this particular PowerGrade is that you can actually now start grading from here. You can easily come over here and turn on your film looks, turn on your sharpness, add a bit of glow if you want that on your image. You can add a bit of glow over there. And this is just a starting point for other great things. Now, looking at this, because we did a very good color correction, we can easily apply grades on top, and we have something very, very nice. We're going to try another footage quickly. Now, this one too, same thing. We're going to come over here, apply our node tree. Quickly, we're going to go to our color correction node. Let's try to color correct this. Going to exposure, then let's work with our HDR. I just want to bring the exposure down a bit. Something around there is fine for me. Contrast, we're going to use our curves again. Editable splines turned on. I want to bring this down. Now, one thing you can use is your pirate so you can see what you're doing. Okay, and you can also set this up. If you come over here, you can set your low to be 60 and your high to be 940, which will give you a guideline. Like you can see over here, I have a line, 2 lines up there and down there, so that I can know when I'm going above or below my desired limits. Okay, so I'm going to push this down, then raise it up there so that I won't pass that limit. This also, I'm going to bring this down there. Just going to push this down. Yep, for the sake of this, I think I might want to put in a bit of lift down here, just a bit. Yeah, and I'm good. White balance for this image, I just want to make it a bit warmer on our gain. Just a bit warmer over there, just slightly, not so much. Yeah, good. Now, balance. Looking at this image, we have a very good balance between red, green, and blue. And I don't really think there's much to be done here. So we can leave that node. HSV, I'm going to add saturation from my gain. Remember, all this has been set for you. You can just work with it. Skin, come over here and work with our skin. Go to your vertoscope. Go to U versus U. Pick a skin. Pick a skin. Make sure you have a good selection. Remember, don't be scared to go to the extreme. Just see what you're doing. I'm going to spread this out a bit. And I'm good. Then I'm going to push this right into the line somewhere around there. It's cool. Now density also, work with our green channel on our gain, bump this up slightly to what we want. So as you can see, with this simple step, we have easily color corrected this footage from this to this with just these simple steps. And you can now go ahead to apply your grades, tweak other things in here. This is left to your own taste and your own liking. We're going to try this on this last footage also. If I come over here and apply our grade. Now looking at this, I'm going to go straight to my color correction. First thing I want to see is my palette. What is going on here? Okay, we're going to go to exposure, and I'm just going to work on my lift a bit, bring down my lift a bit and open up my gamma. And I think I'm good for that. Contrast, I'm going to work with our editable splines and our curves. Bring this down slightly, raise it up. Then I want to just bring this up slightly there and also bring this down just to have a good level. Now, white balance. For this particular one, let's go towards the cooler tones. So because I want to emphasize on the skin tones, I want to add some separation with the white balance. I want to cool it down a bit. Good. Now, for this image, this is where you really need to work on color balance, because now looking at your image, you have a color balance that is not looking proper. So first of all, I'm going to do is I'm going to work on my reds. I'm going to bring up my reds a bit just to balance it up with the other colors we have there, slightly there. And my blues, I'm going to see if I can tweak that to a better ratio. Yep. My greens, I need to touch that. Let's see, I can just bring that to a proper ratio. So looking at this, we just color balance. We've been able to take this from this to something like this. And we can now head over to our HSV, add a bit more saturation. And skin, we can correct the skin now. Go to your U versus U. Then I'm going to pick his skin, create a wider selection, go over to your vertoscope and push this right into the line. Perfect. Right into the line. Go back to density and add a bit more density on the gain. Just for the sake of this, I want to bring down my cools on my white balance a bit just to emphasize this look. Now, by doing that, we have to also go back to our skin tones to make sure that we are still on track. Make sure we put it back in. Yep, something like this is very, very cool if this is the look that you are going for. But you can simply just go back to your contrast. If you want to add more contrast, like I want to do now, I want to add a bit more contrast on these areas. Cool. So you see this, with this simple tool, you can easily work on your color correction. This is before and after, and like I said, from here it is smooth sailing. It depends on the look that you are trying to create. This is just my process on how I approach color correction even before I start grading. The link to the note tree is on the description, and if this video was really helpful, please subscribe to the channel and I'll see you on the next one.